Welcome to Manufacturing Tech Australia with Shane Williams and Paul Mason.
We're here with Matt from Emona. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Thanks, Paul. Nice to meet you.
Now, tell us a little bit about, you got all these awesome 3D printers here. Tell us a little bit about what you got on display here and what they do.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. At Emona, we like to cover the full gamut of additive manufacturing. So we go from entry-level basic FDM printers that are becoming really popular with the bamboo labs, all the way through to the high-end industrial Markforged machines that will print in carbon fibre, Kevlar, fiberglass and metal. So we've got a full range from FDM, from the cheap hobbyist prosumer, really good entry level, up to the really high-end FDM industrial machines. We also have SOS and laser powder bed fusion from EOS and Formlabs, and some resin 3D printers as well from Formlabs. So yeah, we try to cover all the different technologies so we can supply the right equipment to the right use case. Yeah.
We were at the AMW speakers stand earlier today, and they were saying 3D printing, additive manufacturing is the fastest growing section of manufacturing at the moment. But what sort of stuff are you seeing? What kind of applications, use cases?
Oh, look, there's use cases are endless, right? Because so many people are doing something niche along the way. Sometimes it's mass manufacturing is not always the way for 3D printing. You know, there's a lot of noise in the industry around trying to get at that point. The reality is mass manufacturing is not where additive lends itself. It's small batch, hard to make, custom manufacturing is where additive lends itself to be successful. And that's what Australia does well, right? We don't have the mass automakers anymore and all those things, but we do have a lot of innovative companies doing lots of small, intricate, detailed, and large things as well. So it suits our wheelhouse quite well. But yeah, you know, the right technology for the right use case is important with additive.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Even at the air show we've seen just in the last couple of months, there was companies there 3D printing replacement aircraft parts, you know?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, aerospace has always been one of those areas where 3D printing's been promised and delivering for a long time. You know, there's lots of good use cases. SpaceX used 3D printing to, print their rocket engines. Gilmore Space, is Australian story, up in Queensland. They're using a lot of additive manufacturing for their rockets. Down to drones, we use a lot of Formlabs and Markforged printers for drone manufacture. Not mass manufacture, but small batch production of UAVs, UAS, ROVs. Really popular in Australia. A lot of good stuff happening in that space.
Yeah, cool. Could you maybe show us some of the stuff you guys are printing with?
Yeah, certainly. So Markforged has been a leader in high strength parts for a long time. So they print a base plastic material and they reinforce it with a continuous strand of fibre. So not chopped strand, but continuous strand of carbon fibre. So if you think about reinforcing a concrete slab with a Rio mesh to get those properties, that's what you're doing with a Markforged composite machine. So
we've seen lots of gear levers and those kind of things.
Lots of gear levers. So you can print parts like this in the XY plane that are as strong as machined aluminium. So you print the base plastic material, which is this nice nylon chopped carbon fibre they call Onyx. Nice surface finish, really repeatable, looks great. That comes from the material storage down here, and you'll see there's a spool of carbon fibre in here that will reinforce the inside. So whilst you don't see it, this is full of carbon fibre and incredibly strong. So that's out of this. They've got various sizes, the desktop version up to the industrial machine here, the FX10, which is their new one, which will also print in metal. So out of this machine you can also print out of metal, so you can do stainless steels, copper and tool steels in a three-step process, and you get an equivalent of a cast part out of this, out of the same machine. So this one here. We then do, as I said, we do EOS. So EOS is a long-standing stalwart of the additive manufacturing industry, been around for decades, and they do laser powder bed fusion. So a layer of metal powder, use a laser to sinter it together, more powder, more laser, and you full build box of the prints, loose powder and sintered powder, and you come out with this sort of structure here, which you see a lot of latticing. But this could be titanium grade for medical implants or aerospace. Lots of high-end applications for this, and they'll do metal and polymer versions like that. So the laser powder bed fusion and also SLS polymer printing as well. And we do the same with Formlabs. So Formlabs is an entry-level SLS system, but the most commonly sold SLS brand in the world. 60% of all SLS systems in the world, is my understanding, that's what I'm told, are Formlabs printers, and they're really making the technology accessible.
We had one about 20 years ago, printing little enclosures and
so that was probably the resin printer, but they've gone from the resin-based printers, which they still do, the new Form 4L, which you can get a look at in a moment, and the Form 4 have taken the world by storm with the resin front. They're doing really great new technology. and the powdered systems as well.
Cool. Really Why don't you take us down and have a look?
Cool. So this is the Markforged end. As I said, we do the bamboo range on the back wall here as well. So really popular FDM machines from hobbyist level through to sort of prosumer level. Really popular. At the front here we have the Formlabs resin printers. So the Form 4 and the Form 4L is their latest large format resin printing. So that's the two sizes there. They've changed from a laser-based system to a masked LED system, so you're 4 to 5 times faster than traditional SLA printers from Formlabs. So that's really, really good.
Nice.
At the back here, you'll see the fuse system. So what you do with a fuse system is similar to what I described with the metal powder. You lay a layer of a polymer. You then laser sinter that. More polymer laid down, laser sinter it, and you full build chamber of parts. So what you get is ultimate design freedom. So this is all printed in one part. You can do lots of different design that you otherwise couldn't do. Same with these sort of toggle switches. All this is printed in place and the loose powder is shaken out at the end. So that's the technology we do with both Formlabs and EOS for various grades of material, typically nylons. And one of those industries I was saying before is that drone UAV market, for example, in an aerospace application. This build chamber here, which is a relatively small build chamber, look of it, it fits two full drones built in here.
Wow.
So Australia's innovating in this space, and we're getting a lot of UAVs and UAS for agriculture, for defence, for all sorts of areas. And we're getting 2 full builds in there. And, you know, when you unpack it, you come out and you assemble your drone. Right? So you piece it all together. So there's 2 of these drones all in this build here. So,
wow.
Yeah, so as I said, we like to cover the full range of tech from entry-level FDM, which is really accessible to people at home, people at work, people at schools, all the way through to laser powder bed fusion and more.
Fantastic. Oh, full gamut.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for coming on the show. It's been really interesting.
Appreciate your time.
Cheers.
Thanks for tuning in to Manufacturing Tech Australia with Shane and Paul, recorded on the traditional lands of the Bunurong and Wurundjeri people. For more information, jump on the manufacturingtech.au website. Remember to hit the follow button to join us again next time as we continue to explore the intersection of manufacturing and technology.